Today we're going to be looking at a game called Tall Trails. This is probably the polar opposite of the last game I looked at. Instead of a sequel to hyper-violent horde shooter today, we are instead looking at a standalone chill 3D platformer exploration game. Now, I was first made aware of Tall Trails from a trailer in one of the Summer Games Fest showcases last year. I talked about it very briefly, and by that I mean I don't know if Tall Trails looks good, but I'm interested. To be honest, this game was pretty much out of sight and out of mind after I made that video. That was until I saw it pop up on the Steam store yesterday and thought, hang on, I think I've seen this game before. It was $10 and I did not have a game planned to make a video this week, so I thought, why not give it a shot? This game is about a little golem called Alp. Golems, when they are created, are given a purpose on birth, but Alp has not been given one. So he is on a mission to find his creator so he can be given a purpose. It's a cute little game where you run around, climb mountains, do little tasks here and there, and jump and shoot things out of your boot that do various things depending on what you've picked up and put in there. It's a simple but fun premise that never gets very complicated, but has enough variety to fill out the small runtime of the game without getting boring or tedious. So the biggest thing working against Tall Trails is probably the look of the game. If you look at the Steam store or watch the trailer, you're probably getting a game dev uni project kind of vibe from it. And in a way, it kind of does feel like that, and it definitely starts that way. I'll admit for the first 15 minutes or so, I was pretty worried when I started the game, but those worries quickly disappeared. This game has two pillars of design that I think really bring this experience together, that being the gameplay and the music. We'll start with the gameplay. Alp controls in a pretty simplistic way, a simple jump, dive, and climb mechanics. The main mechanic of the game that makes it unique is what I'm going to call the boot jump boost. There are items spread out across the levels that you can stick in your boot and then you can use them to get an extra jump. The items can also do some other strange things. The game is structured into levels, or how the game likes to call them, islands. In each level, the main objective is to collect clay, which for 90% of the game is granted by just climbing on top of something. Each island typically introduces a couple of new items that the level will be designed around. Each island lasts around 10 minutes or so, and then you go to the next one where there are another couple of new items that change up the game, and then rinse and repeat. What keeps this game from going stale is that Tall Trails... Hang on, I just need to pause the video for a second right here. This is editor me right now. Notice how I said trails really weird there? So there's this in-joke my friends and I have come up with in the game Peak. We've been calling the trail mix trial mix for some reason. I don't remember how this started, but it's been going on so long now that it has infected that part of my brain that whenever I see the word trail, I've been calling it trial just for the fun of it. I genuinely think that I've done something to my brain and now it's probably unreversible. Is that Tall Trails is not afraid to just keep moving on. It's really like, here are a couple of things to play around with and then goes, okay, we're done with that. Let's get on with it. Here's some new things to play around with. It's hard to get bored when almost every new level has something new to do. The beauty of the gameplay, I feel like, comes from the fact that there is no real right answer to how you play it. It gives you a task, say, get to the top of the mountain, and you just kind of do that however you like. There's no set path. You want to spam items in your boot and then zoom around the place, then you can kind of do that. You want to go hardcore peak mode and just climb and jump, you can mostly do that. There isn't much difficulty in the game, and how hard or easy you want to make it for yourself is really just up to each individual player. It's designed to be easy because it's a chill game, but the way you approach things is really up to you in a no wrong answer type of way. The game also features collectibles such as hats and colors that you can unlock for Alp, as well as badges. And badges are essentially like perks that power up Alp in some way. Extra running speed, extra climbing speed, more stamina for when you're climbing. They can also be upgraded over time, and you can also unlock more slots for more perks to really hone in on how you want to play the game. If I had to point out some flaws to the game, I do think that Alp's controls, just while he's on the ground, are just a little bit too rigid. I also think that there could have been some more room for expansion within the game. It is on the shorter side at around 4 hours, give or take, to complete the game, and I certainly felt like there was potentially room for another zone's worth of content. The game was pretty much made by a solo developer, so maybe they just kind of ran out of ideas, or maybe felt the game was fine as is. And it is. I think I would prefer it to be short and sweet rather than just overstaying its welcome, and the game definitely doesn't overstay its welcome. During the last zone of the game, things started to get a little bit more weird from level to level. From the things some of the NPC golems would talk about, to the map designs, and just in general things you would find in the game. And this is a part of the game that I think I would have liked to have seen more of. Just more weird stuff. It felt like the game was heading in a more obscure and strange direction, and I was really liking the way it was going. But in the end, the game just kind of only dabbled with it, and I was a little bit disappointed there. Now, when you finish the game, there is an option for a new game plus in a randomizer mode that randomizes the islands and the items on them. This is cool for what is just kind of a little extra mode. I didn't put too much time into it. It was fun, and it gets you another go around, the story, which in turn gives you the opportunity to, really max out your build on Alp and kind of, break the game a little. It wasn't really for me, but it's a nice little bonus mode to have considering the game is on the shorter side. I mean, you can also just play the randomizer mode to start off with, but I recommend just doing the classic mode first. So the other pillar of the game is the music. The music in this game is amazing. Probably the biggest surprise to me coming into this game. When I talk about music in games, I always ask the question, does the music match the atmosphere of the game or does it set it? The music in this game absolutely sets the atmosphere of Tall Trails and goes well beyond what I expected, and I reckon what anyone else would expect from a game like this. It really just adds an extra dimension to what I would call the game's pretty fairly simplistic art style. It honestly ties together the whole experience, and without it, I think this game would almost certainly fall flat. You may hear some of the tracks more than a few times, but it never gets to the point of being repetitive, and there is more than enough music to cover the entire game. In general, it just brings the vibes. I think the composer did a great job. Moving on to performance, as you would expect, this game runs pretty well. My rig is almost definitely overkill for a game like this. I gave this a bit of a try on Steam Deck, and even though this game isn't rated for Steam Deck yet, it runs pretty great on that too. The game also plays decently on a controller, but I think I do prefer keyboard and mouse setup for this game rather than the controller setup. Look, I think with a game like this, you expect it to run well. You'd be pretty worried if the game had performance problems, but throughout the entire experience, I experienced no slowdowns, no stutters or anything on PC or Steam Deck. Alright, so we have come to the time where I let you know whether or not this game is worth playing, and yes, I do think this game is worth playing. I think it was pretty good. Yeah, maybe it's on the shorter side, but I think it also doesn't overstay its welcome at any point. And for the game being made by a single developer, plus a composer, what we get here is a pretty solid package. What I really like about this game is it just gets the simple stuff right. Tall Trails is a simple game that executes on its premise very well. There's nothing wrong with the game, but it is very solid. Currently, there are so many games out there so quick to add complexities to their games before getting the simple things right, and they just turn out to be such a mess. And it's so refreshing to play a game like this. It knows what it wants to be, it does it with efficiency, it's not trying to break the mold. It's a chill game about climbing and boot jumping with a good soundtrack. And that's it. Tall Trails is available now on sale for 25% off at $7.50 US or $10.50 Australian. Then it will go up to $9.99 and $14.50 afterwards when the sale ends. It is currently only available on Steam on PC, and I do recommend you play it if you're looking for a chill game that you can just knock out in an afternoon. But it does have room for a couple more hours of fun afterwards if you're still vibing with it. So thank you for watching this video. If you liked the video, then please leave it a like and consider subscribing if you're new. Many thanks to my YouTube members, Controlled Killer, Yellow, Melodia, and Jingle. Absolute legends. And if you think my content is worth supporting financially, you can do that via YouTube membership. Perks are on the screen. I also have a free to enter Discord as well as a Steam curator page. If you want to join any of those, links are in the description below. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you all next time.